Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause in Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. Today I have another very exciting guest episode for you guys. I'm going to be speaking to Kjersti Jørgensen. Kjersti is a member of Team Norway and has been competing internationally in agility for many years. In fact, her and her small dog Aggie became agility world champions at AWC in 2023. So we are going to be discussing how she trains and what she does in the on-season and the off-season and many, many more questions that you guys asked her. So without further ado, let's get straight into the conversation.
The first thing I always ask my guests is to just briefly introduce yourself. So who are you in agility, outside of agility, all the things?
Okay, so I'm Kjersti Jørgensen. I am from Norway. I live in a quite small town. It's not even allowed to be named a town.
Oh, okay.
It's not it doesn't fit the criteria, but it's like a small, what do you call it, like village something.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe a village, yeah.
Yeah, in between like two cities, which is Hamar and Elverum, but mine is Løten. So the village is Løten.
Okay.
And here I have lived my whole life. I grew up here and I also live here now with my dogs. I am educated as a teacher and I'm also working as a teacher now.
Okay, cool.
I have been working with agility for 2 years because the school I was working at, they had to be put down, and then so one thing led to the other, and then I decided to try to just commit fully to agility for some time because I had a lot of quests. So I was like, okay,
may as well,
let's try to,
yeah. I bet you had loads of people wanting you to train. I bet you had loads of interest, especially after AWC.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Too much interest now that I'm back with the school though.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So now I don't have time.
True.
But it's really fun, but I really missed going back to being a teacher. So now I am back to teaching again for like students or pupils, not just agility.
Okay, in a proper school,
I'm doing some agility.
Okay,
yeah,
so
on a proper school.
Like
exactly.
part-time agility then, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But mostly I focus more on myself now because like I have to keep the energy and the time I have available for my own dogs, and I cannot prioritize that much with others.
Yes, true.
And my schedule isn't that flexible anymore, that you have like a 9 to 5 kind of daily routine.
Yeah.
So
got to be a bit more precious with your time then. Make sure your dogs get trained. Makes sense.
But the fact is that when Agi became a world champion that year, I was still a teacher.
Okay.
Which is quite fun because a lot of people think that you have to like work with agility and aim for agility 100% to become something or to reach your goals, but that's not true.
So proof that it can be done when you're working like, all day in something else. Yeah,
exactly. And actually I think it's kind of better in some way because you get so focused on, you have to do prioritizing the correct way, and you also become more structured because the trainings you actually have becomes more valuable, so you have to plan them, and you are more like strict with what you can do in those trainings because you only have a few.
It's quality over quantity, isn't it? You got to prioritize.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And I'm a quite like energetic person. I'm quite social. I have a lot of friends. I have like not the biggest family, but a big family, kind of like we have aunties and we have I don't have grandparents anymore, but we have like a bigger family, like
immediate family kind of thing.
Yeah. And what's more about me?
So how long have you been doing agility for then?
I did my first like beginners course with my German Shepherd at that point in 2015. No.
Okay.
Was it? Yes.
So just over 10 years then? Yeah. Amazing. What year? Remind me the year that Aggie became world champ.
2023.
2023, that was it. I couldn't remember if it was 23 or 24, but yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was like, yeah. And then I was thinking when she was born, or like started to mixing something else up.
Yeah.
But 2023, because that was also my first time participating in the AWC, and I also did it with Mexi, which is another Brian, and she sadly isn't with us anymore because she got cancer. But she was also a part of that whole journey.
Yeah. Wow, your first ever AWC and become world champ, that's something.
Yeah,
that's
really
amazing.
Very cool. That was a big experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Was Aggie your first Sheltie?
No, but kind of like an adult, because I had a puppy, but she died before she got to turn 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Because she got acutely ill with something it was a genetic fault that it would have happened at any time. Like, I didn't know when I had her, but that's what the vets have found out later, that something wasn't right. So her lungs stopped functioning, and she had to be put down like immediately after. So she was healthy, and then suddenly she got ill.
Oh wow, that's horrible.
Yeah. So that was traumatic.
Absolutely.
And then Aggie came like some time after, so she was like my second Sheltie, but kind of my first Sheltie that I actually trained with from scratch, because the puppy didn't do much.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
The puppy that died, she didn't do much.
I've realised I'm saying it wrong. It's Aggie, is it? I'm saying Aggie. I think I'm saying it wrong.
I'm used to hearing everything, so but yes, I'm saying Aggie.
Yeah. Okay. Though. Yeah. That's right then. And I've been saying Aggie.
A lot of people say Agi, like they say agility.
Oh really?
Like correct. So.
I think she's named after the sport.
Yeah, kind of. But
how old is she now?
Yeah, she's 6.5.
Oh, cool. She's the same age as Arrow, my spaniel, then.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's jump into.
It's a good age.
It is a good age. I think, especially Arrow, they get better sometimes as they get a bit older. Like, I think some people think they peak at like 2 or 3, and I'm like, no, I think they get better.
Yeah. At least they can only get wiser, and I think their body won't stop peaking until they are like older. But I think that they can still be in really, really good shape till 8 and even 9, and maybe some till 10, and then I think it starts to.
Yeah, I think once you hit double digits, maybe, but until then, happy days. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into people's questions then. So the first one's a fun one. Yeah. This person says, Norway seems to have such a positive team atmosphere. How did you create this?
Yeah, I think this is like one of the questions we get asked a lot in our team in general. So it depends like what kind of elements you want to look at and what you think of yourself as the positive thing about it. Like, is it the cheering, or is it how we are like, seems like we're kind of good friends outside the sport as well, or like what of the elements do you refer to? I don't know. But I think that one of the things one have to consider is like a good training environment always starts with yourself. That you have to think about, okay, what in this training environment is something I would appreciate, and then give that to others. So if you want to be cheered at, then you should also cheer for others. If you want others to come and be like motivational support into a course, or support your choices of handling, or build you up in some kind of way, then you also have to do that for others, because it's like kind of like a reflection that if you want something to come back to you, you have to also give it.
Yeah, it's essentially being a bit of a role model, isn't it? Without almost meaning to. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that is very different for some people, because some people are more like they need to save their energy and need to think more about themselves and don't want to socialize that much. And others are quite different. So it depends on what kind of person you are.
That's true.
And I think that also might reflect the whole team situation, because if you have a team consisting of a lot of people who only focus on themselves and maybe have a lot of friends outside the teams and don't like really spend that much time with your team, that will affect the whole environment in the team. But
true.
if you are really like focusing on your friends inside the team and like building the partnership with other inside your team, I think that will be the best. But it depends on what kind of person you are. And I think that we were quite lucky, especially the year that I qualified to the AWC with both Agi and with Mexi. With Agi in small, I was quite close. I am, not just was, but I was and am quite close with Elin, who also qualified with her small dog.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm quite close in age, and we have become more and more friends also with Eli Beate, who also qualified, and she was also like, she has done this a lot of times before as well, so she's quite what's it called, like
experienced.
She's not new. Exactly. And with Mexi in her team, I was also close with with Vilde, who also qualified for the team. So like the same people on my team in the same height class, I had a lot of like friends and people I regularly trained with, so I like felt quite comfortable with them. And also Norway is quite a small community.
I was just about to say, do you think the size of the team makes a difference?
Yeah. So I knew everyone on the team, I think, in 2023. There was no one I was like, I don't know this person. So you have either you have seen them, you have spoken to them multiple times, you have been to competitions with them and stuff. So you know who each other is, and you know what kind of dog they run with. You have probably spoken to them and have something in common with them. So it was a lot like everyone knew each other, and then it's so much easier to feel comfortable. And
do you all live like fairly close together as well, like seeing them regularly? Because here some of us live like 5-6 hours away, do you know what I mean, on Team GB, so it makes it hard to kind of see them regularly.
I think the whole small team, everyone lives or lived like in 2023 maximum 1.5 hour away from each other.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful,
I think. So it was like Eli Beate lived in Trysil, which is like 1 hour away from me, and Elin, which is quite close to me, she's only living like 20 minutes away from me.
Oh, perfect.
And then Irene, I don't know where she lives exactly, but close to Oslo, which is also 1.5 hour away. So everyone like meets up at the same competitions, and like we are seeing each other regularly.
So it's already.
I'm not able to say that word.
Regularly, that's fine. You're doing a great job. Honestly, your English is amazing.
Okay.
It's better than mine sometimes.
Well. I doubt that, but okay. Thanks. But I think that is something that contributes to that we are such a small community, because I think in Norway in general that it's like less than 1,000 people doing agility or something.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, so it's more of a tight-knit community, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like on the Norwegian Championships, then everyone has the opportunity to participate. You don't have to qualify to participate.
Okay, yeah.
But in grade 3, you have to be in grade 3 to be able to like fight for the title. But everyone can, if you're in grade 3, you can apply or like sign up. And I think then we are like about 100 dogs in each height.
Okay, yeah, that's not
maximum of 100 dogs in each height.
Yeah, that's not that many, is it? So yeah, that'll definitely help. And I suppose, like you said, if you're already really close with those people before you go out to the championships, then you know the foundation's kind of already been built.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And also it's quite like we share a lot. I think that we don't have a lot of like mentality where we are competitors against each other. In the way that, of course, everyone wants to do the best they can and stuff. But if someone comes to me and asks like, oh, what do you think about this thing in the course, or how did you train this thing, or we can have a conversation about it. It's not like I'm like, no, then you have to pay me for like, no one is like that.
Yeah,
everyone
you're not gatekeeping anything.
Like, no, no.
Yeah, no,
Everyone
that
is
makes sense.
quite like open, curious, and wants to have conversations with others.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, have you always had a positive and easygoing mindset, or did you have to learn this? So this person thinks you're positive and easygoing. Little compliment.
Yeah. I think I kind of is like I have this thing, like my sister's always saying like, don't you remember this from our childhood? She's only 2 years older than me, but I'm like, no. And I think that a lot of things that happened in my childhood that are negative, like it's not like traumas, it's just that stuff she remembers that I don't, and that they may be a bit negative. I'm like, I don't remember it. So I think that my brain is a bit like, if something is not that valuable for me, I just forget it.
Okay.
I just move on, and then it doesn't take any place.
Yeah, you don't dwell on things.
So that's probably correct assumption.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that she thinks that I'm easygoing like that because I'm just moving on to something that gives me value.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a mix because I played handball for like 11 years, and that's a team sport where you really have to like work with your weakest link, and you also have to work with the strength, and you have to like be put together and work as a team to actually go somewhere, because if everyone would have been really, really good, you still have to work together to get the best out of it.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that we had a lot of good role models as coaches and parents, and that made us like think about the good things, even if we lost, or even if someone made a mistake and stuff, that we learned to look at that as opportunities for learning to be better next time, or taking it with us to training to actually do something about the mistakes and become better. And
so you already had those skills before you came into agility, which is helpful.
Yeah. But I still think that the main like reason for how I'm like able to do the correct mindset with Agi is that I had Mexi as an like, she's a different breed, and I didn't have a lot of people like coming up to me with judgmental thoughts or opinions and stuff, but I kind of like heard them or like felt them anyway.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew that people were talking about it behind my back, but they never like came up to me and said anything.
It's always the case.
Yeah. But I knew that a lot of people had like, they judged because she wasn't built for that kind of sport, or she would never become the best. You know, they had kind of like, why don't you want this breed, because they are so much better. So ironically, now that I have a border collie, but a lot of people were always like, don't you want a border collie, because then you can get so much further. But for me, it was like, but this is my life dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my soulmate. So for me, that was like, why are you talking about her like that? Like,
and you did quite well with her anyway, didn't you, at AWC? Because I've seen what breed is she? Because I've seen her videos, but I can't remember what breed she is.
She's a Chodsky Pass.
Ah, that's it. Yeah. Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. And it was quite fun actually, because when she came to AWC in 2023, that was in Liberec in Czechia.
Okay.
Yeah, or in Czech Republic, and that's where their breed is originally from.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was like both. That was quite fun that she both like qualified as the first Chodsky Pass to participate in both individual runs and team runs for the Norwegian team, and it was also in that country.
Oh wow.
And but the point was that when I started competing with her in grade 3, even if we ran our like super cool run and we did everything correctly, like she was on all the efficient lines and everything was super, I could still be pushed quite far down on the list.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't the fastest.
Yeah.
And I remember so good one of the first time that happened, that I felt like, oh my God, this was such a good run. And that was in the old times where you had to wait for the paper to be hanging on the wall.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah. The excitement.
yeah. So I didn't know how, and that was quite good as well, because then you can just keep your you could keep your good feeling quite long before you got it smashed in your face how the result went.
Yeah, these days it's immediate, isn't it? It's there straight away.
It's quite if you're not good at like actually don't look at it though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I remember that I had this great feeling about that run until I saw the result list. Then it was like, huh? What?
Yeah, you can't believe it because you're like, that was perfect.
Yeah, and I think it was like 10th place because it was a quite big competition. And I was like, what? I'm not even close to the podium. It's like I was in shock. And then I remember that I was like disappointed and felt so much like bad feelings. And then I remember that I talked to my friends about it, and then I went in for like, I can't do agility if this is the feeling I'm gonna get from it. Like first feeling sky high and feeling such a good connection with my dog and feeling so proud, and then because I compare to the others, then it's not good enough anymore.
Yeah.
And then I realized I need to change that mindset. I can't train and run agility just for comparing myself to others or my dog to others, because that's simply unfair. She's not built the same way. And in addition to that, she was running in the old lodge. So she was 47 centimeters high.
And it was 65, wasn't it, at the time?
It was actually 60 though.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. Still, that's a lot.
It was so high for her.
Wow, yeah. God bless her. She did so well though.
Yeah.
So So that was kind of the moment you thought, right, I need to switch my mindset a bit if I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like I didn't cry or anything, so it wasn't like that nerve-wracking or something. But it was just I figured out that okay, if this is a sport I'm gonna do to have fun with my dog, I have to focus on the fun part.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's just that mindset shift, isn't it? And then it's just practice, I suppose, isn't it? Every show you go to, just practicing that mentality until it's natural.
I remember that when I focused on the result list, I focused more on like meter per second, or I could also compare myself to the others, but more like, okay, how close were we to that one specific dog that I usually are about 2 seconds away from? Now I'm just 1 second away, or I could notice these kind of differences instead of only focusing on actually winning or being the best.
Yeah, okay.
And then I could also focus on the videos and like, okay, she had better reeves, or she had a tighter turn, or she was more efficient on the line, or handling choices and stuff. I'm running the like maybe some different choices than the others because I am faster compared to my dog, so I can run the like more not so logical ways for the others, but for me it makes sense because then I can run all the way and push more speed.
Yes, makes sense. There's always a lot to look at outside of results, but like you said, it's just teaching yourself to look for those instead of just going to like, oh, am I on the podium or not straight away, which is tough. It is tough, but yeah, for sure.
So in the end, I was like so good at focusing on how to be the best team, like doing the most and like maxing our potential.
Yes, yeah.
So that was like my main goal eventually, that okay, I may not be the best, but I'm gonna make Mexi one of the best Shudskis in the world, and she's gonna be representing her breed and showing that yes, it's possible.
Yeah, that's a perfect mindset to have. So I suppose you're naturally a bit more easygoing anyway, but then you have still had to do the work inside of the sport, you know, to help your mentality. Cool. So
I also think that as you get older, that is more something you have to work with, because the fun gets more serious anyway because you get older.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose as well, like doing it as a job, I think sometimes as well can take the fun out of it a little bit. I think you have to be careful with as well.
Yeah. And all the expectations and everyone that meets you who wants you to like say something about how you came to this and this, and sometimes it's actually just not luck, but you're not always super conscious about everything you do. Sometimes it's just a feeling.
Yeah, no,
and you
exactly.
can't explain why you did this thing, or why you did like that, or why you thought like that. It's like, I don't know. It just happened.
Yeah, gut instinct, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how often do you train each of your dogs then?
Yeah, I think this is also always a hard question, because it's like, okay, what do you put in training? Is it just like agility training?
And it's never exactly the same, is it, week by week, I find.
No. And it depends more on like where we are in the season, because it's like
true.
Before and after tryouts and before and after AWC kind of thing.
Yeah, true.
So for instance, now in November we didn't train because Agi was on a break, and then we didn't train agility for like 4 or 5 weeks. But then it's like, okay, we were in the hall, and sometimes you got to do some jumping techniques, and then it's like, okay, do you count that as agility for doing the long jump with with a bumper in front of it and just jumping straight forward? Do you count that as agility? Doing that
Good
5
point.
to 7 times? Like, for me, it's like, if you talk about agility, it's like sequencing and training details. Yes, that is agility. But if you're just doing kind of like strength exercise, it's just that it's strength exercises with a jump.
Yeah, it's not course running, is it? Which I think when people think of how often do you train agility, they think of like running actual courses, but there's actually a lot that goes into it that's not that at all. Like you said, the strength stuff.
No. Yeah, you have to like put it up and be like, okay, this is what I mean with training agility.
Yeah, no, I know
like putting some criteria to it. But in general, I'm training my dogs. I think if you were put on like the low season, it's 1 time a week, because in the winter time I only have 1 training a week that is for me, because I'm part of a club that is it takes me 30 minutes to drive to that hall, and it's warmed up and everything, so the facilities is good.
Nice.
But it's a big club that includes a lot of different sports, not just agility.
Okay.
So my group, like my training group of friends, my sister and Ellen and stuff, we only have Thursdays from 1600 to 1900. So we have 3 hours, and we have like 10 dogs to put in.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
To that. Yeah. So that's our 1 weekly training.
Okay.
That we have on a regular basis, and then if I'm able to like add anything onto that is a bonus.
Okay.
But in summertime we have different conditions, because of course there's a lot of more facilities outside.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have your own facilities? Like, do you have your own equipment?
Yes, but only jumps and tunnels. I don't have contacts.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a weave yet.
Oh, right. Okay. Another thing that a lot of people think is you can only do really well if you've got access to your own equipment. So again, proving that's not the case.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like value training and foundations, like with targets and like criteria and working with stuff you want to put onto the actual equipment. But if I will be like more strict with my answer, because people always want a good response, if I were able to choose how much I could train, I would train 2 to 3 times a week. Okay. Depending on if we were competing in the weekend. For me, if I'm competing like a whole week, 7 days, I'm like 4 of those could be agility, but that's maximum.
Yes, yeah.
I would probably only have 3. That's like a good amount.
Yeah, it's just enough, but not too much.
Yeah. So if I'm training on Thursday and I compete Saturday and Sunday, that's 3 days, and that's like good.
That's the week, yeah.
Yeah. But if I have a competition of 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then I can't train my competition dog on Thursday, which is my weekly training, because I don't want 4 days in a row.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So it depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have how many?
But usually I'm like,
yeah. How many dogs do you have now?
I have 3, but only 2 that do agility.
Yeah, that's it. Because you have your young dog, don't you? Your collie.
Yeah. I have a border collie. She is 17 months.
That's a very exciting age.
Yeah. Or like maybe now she's soon 17 and a half, depending on when you're listening to this.
Do you, true. Do you train both your competing or both your agility dogs on a Thursday together then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's my weekly training. Yeah, I only have that.
Good point. Yeah. Cool. So again, I think overdoing it's just as bad as not doing enough, isn't it? So you've got to, be careful with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But of course, also with a young dog that's not competing at all, then it's easier to get those 3 days a week. So if I, like now where I'm a bit of a off season because our tryouts and our first championships, the World Agility Open, isn't until May.
Okay.
So now that Augie is in a kind of off season and Sine is learning everything, it's so much for her to learn. It would be amazing to get 3 days a week of training with her.
Yeah, true.
But usually it's only 1 or 2 we are able to do.
I didn't realise your tryouts weren't till May. That's quite late compared to here. I'll start in February.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's like, it's both a good thing because then it's closer to the AWC, which is good for, but it's not that good for AO because you will not know until quite late, and then all of the venues and everything are usually booked. So
yeah, true.
You just have to book pre-hand and be able to cancel.
Yeah, very good point. That's smart.
Think a bit different. Yeah.
Cool. So do you use a mat or stride regulator to teach the A-frame, and why? So a bit of an obstacle-specific question.
Yes. I have used a regulator on both Augie and on Sine, and with Mexi it was basically just luck. I don't remember how I did it, but
kind of just happened.
Amazing... Yeah. I think she was one of those dogs who just understood when we went from a dog walk to a A-frame that she could just like run in a good pattern and she would hit.
Yeah.
But with Augie, I was so much more conscious about it. And I think it's also valuable to not only think about the criteria like the contact zone, but also like the form over the apex and also the takeoff point on the A-frame, because a lot of the dogs that are getting injured or like getting the load of hitting the A-frame, like they are jumping straight into it and then they are moving upwards. So for me, I think working a lot with the takeoff point, like going close to the A-frame and then climbing up, jumping upwards instead of jumping in, has been a main point for me. But I have used for the criteria or the contact zone, I have used a bumper, and that's also because my dogs are from the beginning, the first thing they know of agility is a wing and bumps, because I use them with jumping techniques, and before they get introduced to bars, I use bumps. So my dogs are really like, they know that they're not supposed to step on them. They know the body awareness and body control that we're training outside of agility, and they have like respect for the equipment I'm putting in.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes it easier. I think it's harder for dogs who doesn't know what a bump is, and people just put them on and then expect them to understand what the thing is.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, because some dogs I've seen will like jump onto the bumps, and then the handler will be like, why are they doing that? And I'm thinking, well, maybe they think it's a target.
Yeah.
You never know.
They don't know if you don't teach them what it is. They won't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And and I think that it doesn't matter what kind of method you use, because I use targets on the shaping. I use targets on the dog walk. I mean, and I think the most important thing is that no matter what kind of method you use, that you take your time to consistently work with the criterias and what you want out of the dog on that specific equipment, so they understand that okay, the mat is for touching in this kind of way, okay, the bump is for hitting all of my 4 paws over it.
So it's not it's not about what you use to teach it, it's about how well you teach it, if that makes sense. So
I think that it doesn't matter what kind of method you use, that the best trainers, they will reach the same kind of goal no matter what kind of method they use, because they will be able to adapt and like keep their consistency well enough for the dog to understand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
how exactly,
so I think it's more fun.
How do you actually teach the dog then not to just slam themselves at the A-frame? How do you teach that nice run up instead of just slamming themselves like you said?
I use a bump on before the A-frame as well.
Okay, on the up plank.
Just as with tight turns, you can use a bump to make the dog understand that, okay, when I'm listening to this cue, that means I have to go close and collect myself to be able to turn.
Okay.
So I have to go close and take off close. And I think that you can teach them, like, it's not kind of brainwashing, but it's kind of that you're making a pattern out of doing it the same way, kind of like riding a bike with like extra wheels.
Yeah.
That you're getting used to how it feels. So when you take off the wheels, you still have to do some work as well then, because the balance will still be, but you are kind of like familiar with everything. It feels like the same way.
That's interesting.
And I think that's what I've done with Sydney this far. So I'm using the bump very, very long time. So she feels like, okay, when I'm hearing this cue and I'm entering the A-frame, I always do like this. She's doing the same kind of movement, so it kind of gets like a muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So when they take it off, they're that used to doing it that it doesn't matter.
And I think also that's maybe one of the mistakes people do, that they are moving on too fast.
Yes, yeah, rushing.
So they're like, but it doesn't help me, because when I remove the bump, the dog does the same thing, or the dog doesn't do the same thing. Then she just do this or that, but then it's like, okay, but how long have you been doing it?
Yeah.
And did you just remove it and then without a plan? Because one thing is removing it, but another thing is like testing or doing a few reps here and there without it, and then putting it back on.
Yeah.
And then without it and putting it back on. So you're like,
it's
a few repetitions here, a few repetitions there, and then softly moving on to more and more repetitions without it. So you don't suddenly stop doing it and then expect your dog to understand what to do.
Yeah, it's patience, isn't it? Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
Got to stick with the foundations.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
and also in general, body awareness will help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's
like
something
that your dog
that's something that people don't, I think, realize the importance of sometimes. Is, like you said, the body awareness, the strength, the stuff like that behind the scenes that people do.
Yeah, exactly. That they have to know that if my dog is going to be able to perform all of this, they have to have the strength, they have to have awareness, body control, and they have to think. So they have to know that, okay, when you say this cue or I hear the clicker or whatever, then I know that was correct.
Yeah. Exactly.
So there's so many routines around it that has to be in place before you actually do what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So for the weaves then, do you use the channel method or the 2x2 method to teach the weaves, and why?
Yeah, this is actually quite funny, because every time I'm saying to myself that, okay, now I will do a mix of 2x2 and the channels, and every time I start, it ends up with only the 2x2. I never come to I never like end up with doing the channels.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I have heard people use both as well, like 2x2 for a little bit and then switch to channels. But have you found that 2x2 on its own has just been absolutely fine?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I was supposed to introduce Cine with the channels after I have like worked with entrances, because I think one of the main reasons I prioritize doing the 2x2 in the start is that they really have to think about how they move, how they collect, and like being aware of how they use their body to enter the weaves.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the dogs I've seen only dealing or like training with channels, they have often a bit too much speed, and that they are lacking the control or like lacking the skill of knowing how to de-accelerate to enter the weaves in a safe or controlled way, so they can like slide So that even if they enter correctly, they slide and then enter suddenly the gate 3 instead of gate 2.
Yeah. They lack that control for the entry, I suppose.
Yeah. Or they are really like getting a lot of loads on their shoulder, or like a lot of strain, because they have to like, because they haven't
really sharp turn around that second pole.
Yeah. So that's why I like the 2x2. And then suddenly I just find myself like, okay, this went really fast. And then I could enter a new gate, and then we have 6 poles, and then I have 6 plus 6, and then suddenly we have 12, and like,
yes. So you don't really need the channels.
No. But I think that one of the things I'm missing that I would like to use with the channels is working with exits without the same kind of load on the body.
Yes, true.
Because you can open the channels, and then you can work with the exit with 12 poles, but without the same kind of without the same kind of load. So that's why I would want to use the channels as well. But I think the main problem is that I don't own a channel myself.
Okay.
And in my club we have a channel, but it's really like, it's not that steady.
Okay.
And I do not want my border collie, which is quite powerful, to learn that I can move the poles.
True. Yeah. Got to be a bit more careful around them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of elements that I think is important for me, and why I prioritize the 2x2, because I want her to respect the poles.
Yeah.
And that she has to be the one moving.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I suppose as well, every dog's slightly different. I suppose maybe you'd steer more towards channels if the dog was really sensitive, for example, and you wanted more speed. Do you know what I mean? Maybe something like that.
Yeah. But like, I am always one of the person who think that, okay, I think the speed will come eventually with more, with more time and with more confidence. And I'm also not a person that trains something and only focus is like, I'm not a person who's like, okay, now I will train the weaves and I will start with it today and it will be done in 4 weeks. I'm not that kind of person.
No.
I'm like, I could do the first shaping session with 2x2, and then suddenly we haven't trained it in a while, or like it can go 4 months until we have 12 poles, or like, I don't really care about the time aspect here, because I think it's important for them to rest both mentally but also physically, to be able to like build up to perform it better. Because I think one of the things that maybe is a reason for people who have slow weaves is that they train it more to make it faster, but the dogs are actually learning that, okay, I have to do this a lot, this is exhausting, so I will do it slower to save energy for more repetitions.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it backfires, doesn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. That they are overdoing it so much that the dog is like, it doesn't have the effect that you actually want it to have.
Yeah, less is more sometimes.
Sometimes a rest. Yeah, and sometimes rest, and that they can think about it, and like the muscles can work without actually training, and then you can come back, and then the dog knows what to do because it has had time to think about it and get more mature.
Yeah, true. Again, it comes back to not rushing. Helpful. Same with all the other things. It's just patience is the key to everything, essentially.
Exactly. Having more projects as well, so you can't just focus on that one thing. You have a lot of
lots of different things to teach at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So, how do you choose which... Oh, hang on. Can't see it. How do you choose which training methods to use, e.g. contact and weave training techniques? Oh, I see. So, for example, with the A-frame and the weaves, how did you decide to use the bump instead of the mat for the A-frame, and for the weaves, how did you decide to use 2x2 versus channels? Is it, something that you do with every dog, or is it based on the dog itself kind of thing?
I think it's a mix of both, but I think that one of the things I'm quite good at is building my dogs up to being able to handle mistakes quite good, so they are able to offer new behaviors every time, so it's not a problem for them to work without getting the reward straight away.
Okay.
They are not giving up like that, because they have been shaped and done a lot of things in the house and been trained in a way that they know that it's still fun to work with me, even though I don't get it correctly the first time or the second or the third.
Yeah, so they're not worried about failing or anything like that.
No, they don't get sensitive about it.
Yes.
But of course, a lot of people would then be like, yeah, but you don't know because you don't have a sensitive dog. But Mexi was very sensitive.
Yeah.
But I managed to switch that because of the way I trained her. So I was able to switch that because of the way I was training, and being able to put things in different steps and working with a lot of those routines outside of the agility. So instead of like expecting things to turn around on the agility field, I worked with them off the agility field and then implemented them when she started to feel more secure, which came naturally because you learn to like, okay, what about this? Okay, that was not correct. Oh yeah, what about this? And then they were like getting more eager to get it right instead of being afraid to get it wrong.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, and instead of them shutting down if they fail, it's more like, I'll keep offering different things then until I get it right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But back to your question though, I don't think there's any like specific rules for like, okay, this method works best for this kind of dogs, because I think it depends on what the handler or the trainer likes the best.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you will do best with what you feel more confident with doing.
Yeah, true.
So that's probably also why I like the 2x2 so much, because I'm really great with being able to see all those or spot the details that I want to reinforce. So my timing and cues and everything are quite good, so I'm able to reinforce the exact things I'm looking for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that again will lead to kind of the same results, even though it's a different method.
Yeah, true. Again, it's more that there's no right or wrong. It's more personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that what you feel good at, you are able to do better because you feel confident in the situation, and therefore you are being a better person or a better trainer.
Yeah.
And then that snowball will start.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people stress over which method to use, how to do something, but at the end of the day, just crack on with something and it will, you'll still get to the end result. You just got to choose one and be confident in it, and then it'll still work for you.
Yeah. I think that's the same with the cues, that everyone is like, oh, should I also have a directional backside? Should I change from this system to this system? Or, should I have this start routine? Should I ask my dog in a sit instead of a stand? And it's like, if you're more comfortable with this or that, you will do that better.
Yeah, exactly.
So unless you have faith or you really want to change because you see some advantages you really want to have, then okay, you can focus on changing it. But there's no point of changing something if it works for you.
Yeah, no, that is so true.
I have that with
cues all the time. Like people asking me, should I have this cue? Should I have that cue? Or why do you say this? And I'm thinking, it doesn't actually matter what you say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the same thing with the targets and stuff. If you have found a method and you are really, if you're really into like doing everything just on shaping or using bumps or using target mats or whatever, if that really works for you and you've done that again and again successfully and you feel like that's working, then you don't need to change it just because someone says that this is the best way. I know that.
Exactly.
I usually don't trust people that are really like black and white with what's the best thing, because then I'm always like, okay, you are either trying to sell me something or you're quite ignorant that there are different people and different dogs.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Cool. So what is your opinion then on shaping versus luring? Kind of moving into, we were discussing a little bit about shaping.
Yeah. For me, it's like you can use them differently. I think it's a good thing to teach the dog to be lured in some situations, because sometimes that's just a quicker thing to get through. If you are in a situation your dog hasn't seen before and you just quickly have to like fix something, then they can just follow your hand through it, so you're just out of there, for instance. But I like shaping for the body awareness, like teaching how to back, teaching to put forepaws in a box, teaching to hit a target, teaching to touch in the hand or something. That I think that the dog are able to learn better if they are figuring out how to move for themselves. Because then they will be more aware of everything they do, every step of the way, every movement, every muscle, instead of, if they are lured, they will only focus on the treat or the hand.
They won't be thinking about what they're actually doing.
But one of the things I really do like with luring is the reversed luring.
Okay.
So I like to teach my dog that if I close my hand, that means you can offer something or you can follow it if I put emotion on it. And the second I open my hand, it's freeze.
Interesting. And that's
then
reverse
it's
luring.
Correct. Then you have the that's reverse luring.
Okay, interesting.
That means that as long as I have my hand closed, you can offer stuff, you can move, you can do stuff. Immediately when I open it, you have the correct position and you should freeze.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So the hand is a cue in itself, isn't it?
It's kind of like a marker clicker or something. Because one of the things that when I'm shaping my dogs, they will offer something and sometimes they do it very fast. So you have to be very precise to get exactly what you want. So if you are thinking of measurements, for instance, I measured Sydney the other day, so that's why I'm like thinking about that. I can lure her into the position where I want her to stand, and then I can open my hand and she just freezes and stands still as long as I have my hand open. I can also put my hand away and just say stay there, because now I know that she's in the correct position, or I can just keep my hand open.
Okay.
And also when I do the warm-up routine, when I want them to lay down and then stand up and lay down again, back and forth like that, I use my hand for it. But if I want them to keep the position, I open and hold.
That makes sense.
So they understand the signal.
Yeah, again, it's a bit
and
like...
And it's also super.
I think there's pros and cons to each method as well, isn't there, I guess?
Yeah. And I think the more methods you have, the more tools you have in your toolbox.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, okay, I want to train strength training with my dog. And I want them to keep some of the movements still, but you want a flow in it, but sometimes you want them to keep the position. And instead of them licking or like trying to get the treat, I can just open my hand and they will freeze in that exact position. So if I'm doing like what's it called? Like not a pull-up, but a
press-up. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. So if I want them to do that, and I want them to hold in some kind of specific position, like you can do 3 push-ups and then you have to hold. And then 3 and hold or something. Then I can do it with that kind of luring. I can make them like follow my hand in the push-up. And then when they're down again, I can open.
Okay.
And then I hold. Instead of and they won't try to take the treat, because I haven't told them that. They know that the treat is in my hand, but you can only get it when I cue you to take it. So it's like a concept with reverse luring, and I really like to use that as a tool for getting my dogs to understand, or doing an exercise instead of teaching them everything.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's the first time I've heard of reverse luring, but it makes sense.
Okay, yeah, you should really check it out, because I think it's quite normal, especially in strength training. And it's also a very nice tool to use to get the dog to understand the concept of self-control.
Yeah, very true.
Because that's when that's how you start with it. You just hold your hand closed with a treat in it, and every time the dog tries to like take it, you just keep it closed. Immediately when the dog's starting to pull away, you open. If it tries to take it again, you close. So every time the dog understands that, okay, I'm pulling away from it, you will open. So the thing I desire the most will be available when I'm not trying to take it.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And even though it is technically a form of luring, they're still figuring it out for themselves. Yeah,
exactly.
Like shaping, so no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just that it's not free shaping. You're kind of like participating with your body language.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are your favourite foundation exercises to do with puppies and young dogs? And there's so many, isn't there?
Yeah, and I also think it's like, okay, what do you mean with foundations? Because some people will talk about foundations they do with agility equipment, but for me, foundations is something you do away from agility equipment.
Yeah. I would say I agree with foundations are away from equipment.
Yeah. So for me, I think some of the best things I do foundationally is like developing rewards, like reward developments. Then that includes like being able to tug or play with me, bringing the toy back, having the different cues. Like I have one that means get it, which is take it from my hand, and ta-da, which is take it on the ground.
Okay.
And I can use this also to make my dog like listen to cues and discrimination. It's so much I can do just to make the dog like pay attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and learn to connect and work together with me.
That makes
and
sense.
I also like the nose touch.
Yes.
So I can put the toy on the ground and we can chase towards the toy, and then suddenly I can ask the dog to touch my hand instead, and then suddenly connects with me.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the concept of reward development and like playing around with rewards in different ways are like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a reward structure there, and your dog isn't interested in a reward and doesn't know how to behave around a reward, you can't really teach any of the equipment anyway.
So basically, every exercise is about around rewards, and just establishing all the cues with the rewards and everything that I want the dog to understand that coming back to me. So everything that can make our sessions more efficient.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And productive, and like being able to like have a reward system so the dog understands that when I play with you like this, that means that this was really great, so I can add value wherever I want.
Yeah.
And of course also being able to resist the urge or whenever they want to get the reward, even though they didn't get the cue yet, so they are able to keep the self-control. So there are so many layers into this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's cues, discriminations, self-control. It's self-control, it's discrimination with cues, it's connecting with me when I ask for it, it's working with distance. You can do whatever and build value to whatever you want, because they have something they want to work for, and they understand that this means that I did a great job, or they feel good about it, and it creates good routines.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And like I said, without that, you can't even move on to the equipment anyway. So you got to get those foundations right first, for sure.
Yeah. And of course, you don't have to do it with a toy. You don't have to just do everything with a toy. It can be like a ball that you place food in, or you can do it with a bowl, like a food bowl.
Yeah.
Or you can do it with treat bowl. You want the one like tulips that you can close.
Yeah, clams, those ones. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. It just depends what the dog's motivated by, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just working with something.
Yeah.
So you can like use that later in your training, and then the training will be so much easier because you have all of this.
Yeah, like you said, it's efficiency, isn't it? It'll all go so much faster and smoother with that in place.
Exactly.
Perfect. So how do you mentally prepare for important competitions then? So by important competitions, I'm guessing this is like world champs.
Yeah, or tryouts.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I do that maybe like, because one thing is that everyone is doing like focus points and creating goals and stuff. Like I can write stuff that okay, in this course I will focus on these 3 areas. I will be able to blind cross there and look at my dog. I have like very specific things that I can check. That did I do that? Yes. Did I do that? Yes.
Yeah.
It has to be easy to say if I did it or not.
Okay.
So very clear criteria for me in every run, because that makes me have focus, and then I can prepare myself pre-hand before the competitions on, okay, find a point in the course that you will look at your dog, because then it's easier for me to come up with this when I'm actually there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can also use like feel good videos, books, podcast, music, whatever. Either if I want to like get in the mood, fight spirit, then you have like one playlist, or okay, now I would just want to calm down, then you maybe have another playlist, or a book, or a video. If you want to like remind yourself like how well you are doing together or something, you can find an old video of a run and then feel the same kind of connection or whatever you felt, like the good things you felt. You can look at that. And I also really like just talking and ventilating kind of with about my thoughts and expectations with my friends or family or boyfriend.
Okay. Because some people are different.
I'm really the kind of people.
Some people prefer to keep quiet, don't they? And then other people prefer to talk before a run. So again, it's about finding what works for you, isn't it?
Yeah. And it depends on like if you do it on the venue, like one thing is doing it on the venue, but if you're preparing before the competition, then like a week or 5 days or whatever before you actually go there, then you can talk about, okay, this big competition or these runs or this judge or these courses, I think that we can meet this and this and this, and you can just talk about expectations. Because if you hit it right, if you analyze some courses and you talk them through, like, oh, this judge I really like this kind of starts, or they like to put the tunnel under here and then the weaves there, or this is something that is a pattern. If you talk about it, then you will feel safer, because I met something at a competition that I expected to meet.
You're not surprised by it.
Yeah, and in some kind of way you can feel confident that you were right, even though it doesn't give you the more skills or anything. It just gives you a good feeling that, oh, I managed to think that this was something that could happen, and it happened.
Gives you that confidence, doesn't it? Which is the key.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also like just making a plan and keeping it structured, because I trust the process of like, if I prepare well, both physically and like strategically, like I can analyze courses and I can train sequences that I think is like hard from that or that judge, then I feel good about like doing choices in the actual competition and sticking to those, because I've always had a plan for how to deal with this and this and this, and then you can feel more confident by following your plan.
It's giving yourself that certainty, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And also just training, like physically training yourself, like running, strength training, whatever. It gives you endorphins. It affects your mindset, and just you are becoming more happy, and that also helps.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you go into a competition knowing you've done everything you can in the lead up to prepare, that's the best mindset you're going to be in for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
So what does your training schedule look like in the lead up to important competitions then? So you say it obviously changes on season, off season, and then, for example, on your lead up to tryouts and then the actual AWC or EO or whatever you're doing, what would it look like in that lead up?
What is the lead up then? Is it like 3 weeks, or is it 6 weeks, or like?
Well, how do you? So what time period before that event would you change things for the event, if that makes sense, and how?
It's kind of like gradually.
Say you have tryouts in May and then AWC is September. What would it be from May to September, roughly?
So from in May she wouldn't hit her peak in May, but she will be in quite good shape.
Okay.
So quite good shape. And then after tryouts, I will let her rest a bit. So then it will be a bit like off. Yeah. But not off, but just like
a bit more chilled.
A bit down. And then depending if we are competing at EO or not, then I will start like peaking her up again. So she will get a little of rest. And then immediately be like, okay, now we are starting to build up more. So more agility fitness, agility conditioning. So more specific hitting for agility and not just a general condition.
Yeah.
And then it's usually actually less strength workout for her. Because I'm prioritizing forest walks more.
Okay.
That is strength training in forest walks too. They are hitting all the muscles, and especially in a low pace and off track. That is really, really good training for her. And it's also loosen up.
Yes, okay.
And getting rid of like more of the tension. So I'm using a lot of hikes in the forest and milder strength training. So we're not building, we're just maintaining.
Yes, okay, that makes sense.
Right? Yeah, so we're not building muscles, we're maintaining muscles, but we want condition, like her endurance to be better. And that is really like something that what's the English word for it? What I mean is like this is something like if you're building muscles or losing muscles, that happens. It happens quite fast.
Does it mean a bit like if you stop using something, you lose it, kind of thing, like muscle?
Yeah. You have to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Kind
so
of.
Keep using it, otherwise it deteriorates, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like with conditioning, like you can quite easily lose the conditioning you have built up by stop training, or like if you run slower for a long while, then you will lose your conditioning, or if you just stop running, you'll lose your conditioning.
Yeah,
it happens quite fast, but it can also be built up quite fast.
Yes, okay, that makes sense. I get what you mean.
So that's quite what I mean, but we have an own word for it in Norwegian.
Yeah.
You don't have it?
No, we don't even have it. See, we're slacking.
No. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, my vocabulary is so bad, but it's because
it doesn't exist. It's fine. Yeah. You can't forget something that doesn't exist.
No. So basically it's just that you have to keep it fresh. So for me then, in those periods, I'm like, okay, she's not building muscles, she's maintaining them, but we are building endurance.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's a different type of training, isn't it?
Yeah. So instead of like we're not training longer on the agility, so we're not training longer sessions. It's not that kind of endurance I'm talking about. It's in the forest, longer walks.
Yeah, lower impact stuff.
More walks. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
because she don't need that kind of endurance on the agility, and I don't want her to learn to save energy.
Yeah, very good point.
In the agility.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And okay, so what more do I do? She's having more regular physio checkups just for my confirmation.
Peace of mind.
So I know that, okay, we're on the right track, and that if something occurs, that, okay, then I will focus on strengthening this part, or I will let her rest, or she, like, whatever she needs to feel fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm doing her mobility routine at home more frequently, just to keep her in the best shape. And she has more rest days.
Okay.
Which means that she has days that are completely off, just small walks, and either she's just resting to build up. And then also when we first train agility, then it's more sequencing and course running. It's not a lot of details for the upcoming, because I'm not able to teach her something the last weeks before AWC.
Yeah.
Then
so it's just again, it's maintenance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's maintenance.
Yeah.
And in the last 5 to 7 days before competition, we don't train agility at all.
Okay, so that's kind of tapering, isn't it?
It's
tapering. So we call it tapering, where there's a period before the big event where you just chill. You don't risk injury, you don't overdo it, you don't risk the dog being sore. So tapering is basically just strategic rest kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still doing all of the hikes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're doing everything of the else, but not agility. And that's, both for the mental part, that when we now first enter the agility, she will be really eager.
Yeah.
Because she really wants to train and run with me. And her body will feel really good, because we may have had, like, if the competition starts on Friday, we may have had a physio on Monday, and I have gotten the she's in super good shape now, and she feels good, and maybe she got a massage or something, so she feels really fresh. And then I know that, okay, when we enter now, everything is lined up for us.
Yeah,
so
you don't want to do anything in between that and the show, do you?
Yeah. And if there's something, then you know that, okay, then she can get that correction or mobility or chiropractor or whatever if she needs it, and then you have enough days for it to be clean for the rules, and also for her to like rest it off and then be ready.
Makes sense. Very structured. Cool. So what does your handler fitness routine look like then?
Like do you mean on training, or do you mean like for a warm-up, or
just general fitness? So how do you maintain fitness for agility outside of agility?
Okay, so no, it's intervals, running drills, strength training, both like general, just general strength training, but also more specific. But I also have I have a personal trainer.
Okay, that's handy.
Yeah, so she's making the plans, and I'm just executing them.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
takes out the thinking, doesn't it, when you're just told what to do?
Yeah, but I think that one of the things that really changed me as a handler the most was the running drills and technique, working with technique, because even though what kind of shape I'm in, if I'm able to use that shape the best way possible, that's like the best. So you can be in really, really good shape, but if you have a really bad technique of running, you will waste a lot of energy because you're not doing it properly.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But now I can see on videos that I'm moving more efficient without even thinking about it, because I've done this with her for 2 years, 2.5 years.
Again, it's that muscle memory,
so now
isn't
it's
it?
like, it's something that I don't think about it. It just happens.
Yeah.
And I can think about Agi and every cue and everything, but the rest is just in my body. My arms are doing what they are supposed to do immediately when I'm not like looking at her. If she's in a tunnel, my arms are like this, and immediately when she comes out, I'm back at handling. I don't even think about it. It just happens.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want it to be subconscious, don't you?
Yeah. And my feet are moving better, and I'm like, my posture is better. Everything is like, it works so much better, and I can see it so clearly that I'm much faster now, not because I'm that much stronger or fitter. It's because I have better technique.
Yeah, you know how to do it properly.
Yeah. So I think that was the biggest like game changer of my the training we have done, is that I have taught my body to move properly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. And again, I think it's one of those things that some people probably don't think about, but then it just makes agility so much easier, doesn't it? When you're handling, when you've done some work on your fitness outside of it, when you get to it, it's just so much easier.
And it's also so much fun, because then the more you do of it, the better you become, and then that also gains confidence.
Yes, exactly. And it all comes down to confidence.
Yeah. And then I also use some of these running drills in my warm-up routine before I run.
Yeah.
And then I remind my body for how to move, and also get to more specific warm-up, which is just as important for me as for my dog.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes sense. So how do you deal with the pressure of performing and retaining your title as world champion? So do you feel the pressure to retain your title, or are you pretty good with that kind of thing?
I don't know, of course I would want to win it again, and it's always like, if you get your dog in a peak kind of level, and like with this year's, or not this year's, but 2025 AWC last year, whatever. The last AWC. Now that we're in 2026, I'm like,
I know, that sounds wrong, doesn't it, saying last year?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, but yeah. So the last AWC, we performed really, really nicely, and we had the best time and kind of won the team runs.
Yes.
Both in agility and in jumping. And then I did a really bad choice in the jumping run, so we disqualified. So on that one jump, the rest was super.
That's annoying.
And that, So the thing that stung the most was that my choice was bad, and that the execution of it was also bad. So it was not the title or like the run itself. It was that I made a choice that I wasn't supposed to make. And that is not a good feeling. For me, it's like the result isn't that like consuming. It's more like the feeling you have of the run. So we also disqualified the agility run because she slightly briefed the jump that she was passing into the weaves. So I
think I actually remember that. I think I remember that course actually.
And the ironic part that her time was still, you know, you could still see her time when she crossed the finish line, because everything else was normal. It was just that that one of the bar dropped that she was supposed to jump after.
Oh, that is annoying.
So you could still see the time, and she had the best time.
Oh, that does sting.
And then it was like, okay, so basically in 3 out of 4 runs, we had the best time. But we performed our best, or like on the result list, our best in the 2 runs that in the end didn't give us any result because of our other teammates didn't make it through the courses, so we didn't have a result. So basically, if they had swapped,
that would have been ideal.
I had run. But like I know that she's one of the best small dogs that was on that AWC. I don't need that title to confirm that. I know that. True. Like I saw that on the result list in the team, and I saw it on the video on her, that what her time would have been compared to the others. But like in the end, it doesn't matter, because the best dog won. It was the one who actually did all of the correct things and didn't brief the jump or didn't make the wrong handling choice.
So
I don't want to claim to be the best when I wasn't, but for me, I know that I'm one of the best because we have proven that.
That's it. Like I said, if you've done it once, then you've proven yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think you don't have to keep proving it over and over again, year in, year out. That's sometimes a bit unrealistic.
And I also think that for me, it's like, it's not the title or the result in itself that proves that you're the best, because sometimes you can look at a run and you can feel that, okay, it was clean, but you don't feel like, oh shit, that was such cool handling or super cool skills or something. But in some of the runs you see that are eliminations or one bar or a contact error or whatever, that you can feel like, oh my god, there was so many things here that shows that they are really at the top level in the world. But they don't need to have a title or a result to back that up. You could just see it by how they performed their run.
It's kind of letting go of that title, like you said, isn't it? Letting go of the outcome and looking at all the other more positive things, like we said earlier.
And I think that was also my mindset in 2023, and it has followed through every championship and stuff ever since, because I know that Agi is really, really good. She's very both talented and she's skilled and she's super fast, and if I'm able to peak her shape, she will be one of the fastest dogs there.
Definitely.
But there's still some luck.
Of course. Definitely. There's always going to be luck involved.
So even though you can always like, okay, how much luck is it really? But it's more work than luck. But it's always a bit small portion of luck to be able to like perform the best version of yourself or the best version of your dog or whatever.
True.
And especially with that bar, she knocked with like a small like briefing that switched the wing and then the bar fell. For me,
it was
that
the tiniest little
really
touch.
Bad luck.
That was bad luck.
We have never ever been in that situation before.
No.
And of course it happens at the AWC.
I know, it couldn't just happen at a normal competition, could it?
And then for me it's like, okay, that's basically just bad luck.
It is.
But of course, if I would have chosen to rotate my shoulders earlier or done a rear cross instead of pushing her speed, it may not have happened. But
you don't
I'm
know.
more proud of I'm more proud of going all in and delivering a beautiful run, even though it's on the result list and elimination. The run in itself was like super
amazing.
good.
Yeah, no, that's such a good way of looking
like
at it.
That, yeah, and that's like, okay, then you have proven yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
because that was cooler than me being really passive and safing everything. That wouldn't be that cool to watch.
Yeah, no, exactly. That is a good, again, it's a mindset shift, isn't it? Away from the actual results.
Yeah. And I also think that everyone that is like saying just like, oh, we really want you to win again, or like if they're coming with these comments, for me it's like they are just cheering for me, they're rooting for us. I don't feel the pressure of that.
Okay, yeah,
it's just nice. Like,
yeah, no, that is a good way to look at it.
It's basically them just saying that you deserve this kind of.
Take the compliment,
and that's just nice. Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. So how do you cope with quote unquote failures and setbacks? Now, I quoted failures because, again, failure is subjective. What one person may think is a failure may not be to someone else. But yeah, how do you cope with it when things go wrong?
I haven't really felt like a failure. Never. Like I don't think in that kind of way. We have done a lot of mistakes, but I think that for being a failure, you have to give up, and we haven't given up yet.
Yes,
I don't think we will. Like, so it's not really a failure. It's just that you meet some mistakes and you learn from them. It's like, that's kind of what agility is about.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I can feel disappointed, but at the same, like, especially after the jumping round, when we first, like, okay, it was the jumping team, clean, fastest time, agility, clean, fastest time, jumping individually, and then I made that huge mistake. Just one place in the course, both on the course, because I had decided to do it like that, and then I went to execute it, and it was just a stupid mistake. I shouldn't have done it. And then I'm like, I'm really disappointed, but at the same time, I know that, okay, now I kind of get comforted by knowing that this doesn't change my value, it doesn't change Agi's value, it doesn't change how good we are or what we know or the skills we have. It's just, it was a bad choice that didn't suit us well.
Yeah.
And yes, I should have thought of that, but is it one thing I'm going to be really, really good at next time I'm in that situation? I will never, ever do that mistake again.
Yeah, so it's learning from the mistakes, isn't it? And thinking of it as a good thing it happened in a way, because at least now you'll never do it again.
Yeah, exactly. So now, like, it was a big learning opportunity. Of course, it sucks that it was in AWC, it has to happen.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, it was a mistake. It wasn't a failure. We didn't fail anything.
Yeah, exactly.
We made one mistake, and yes, it had a really, really rough outcome. But, like, that's the name of the game.
Yeah. And it happens to everyone, doesn't it? And also, I think
it wouldn't be this fun if it was this easy to just get through.
Yeah, exactly. And when it happens to other people, you don't look at them and think, oh, they're a failure. So why would you think about it to yourself, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's like high risk, high reward, and that's the coolest rewards to get.
Yeah, that's what keeps it interesting as well, like you said.
Yeah.
Totally.
I did the exact same thing when I won in 2023. I gave it all. I went for the high risk. I just ran and I trusted all our skills, and I made a lot of good choices.
Yeah.
And we had some luck.
Yeah.
Kind of also. And then we won the whole thing. Both like we performed a really, really great runs, and we got the title.
Yeah.
But like this year, like I think we were in even greater shape. She was like her peak. She has never been in this great shape as she was now. But I didn't. But I still made that mistake, and like, yeah,
it's just how it goes.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is what it is.
It doesn't bother me anymore. It was a bit stuck in me for a long time. That it sucks that it has to happen, or that it had to happen there. But I think that, okay, this humbles me, or this like makes it even cooler to, if I get the chance again and we make a clean run with a high risk and I go all in the same way and we get a result on that, that will taste even better because of this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That is the perfect way to look at it, for sure. And to be fair, I think as well, when you're competing at that higher level, you kind of just have to think, you know, you're raising the bar constantly. Like, the fact that you're even there doing that, competing at that event in itself is major. But, you know, sometimes you think, well, that's the new standard. So you forget to, you know, you forget to kind of see how good you're doing, you know, and then if you don't win the world title, you're disappointed. But in actual fact, loads of people are killed to just qualify for the event. So it's perspective.
Yeah. And I even though I didn't get anything, like, you don't get to be on the podium, you don't get a medal or anything, I still won 2 runs.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like, individually ranking, I won 2 runs.
Yeah, exactly. It's, podium or no podium, technically, it's still what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So individually, she showed that in 2 of the runs, she was the best.
Yeah. Exactly. Just happened to...
So we still showed it.
Yeah, just because they weren't called the individual runs, still the same.
No. Yeah.
For sure. So what is your...
I was really proud.
Yeah, as you should be. What is your best piece of advice then for someone who aspires to compete and win medals internationally? So for someone who's not competed internationally before, but wants to get there and do well.
Well... like, instead of putting a lot of mindset and things, I think just put in the work with yourself.
Yeah.
Treat yourself as an equally part of the team. So don't only focus on the skills of the dog, but put in the work with yourself, physically, mentally, and be kind to those around you, especially with your dog.
Yeah. No, that is very true.
I think that if you use a lot of time with just building relationship and focusing on, like, having fun with your dog and connecting with your dog, you will feel more relaxed and you will feel like this is something you get to do together, instead of, oh, this is something we really need to, or this is something I want to achieve, because the dog doesn't want to achieve anything.
Yeah, no, exactly. They don't care.
Like that. So if you focus more on, like, the connection and the fun of it, I think the journey will be more fun, and then whatever happens in the end of the journey, that's just a bonus.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
So I think that competing internationally and thinking about the medals kind of ruins it for you.
Definitely. Yeah, it's pressure you don't need to put on yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. But of course, like, I have result oriented goals as well. I do, but I don't focus on them.
Yeah.
Because a goal is like, you can have a goal that's not really like something you write and be like, okay, this is something I'm supposed to achieve. Sometimes you have, like, we call things #goals, but it doesn't mean that this is a goal that I want to do myself. It's just that, this is really, really something really cool, or something I would want to achieve, but I don't have to. It's not a need.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you do need those goals to motivate you, don't you, to put the work in. Or if everything revolves around them and you can't be happy till you achieve them, then you're better off not having them.
Yeah. So, like, I really want, not need or have to, become a world champion with Aggie again.
Yeah.
But if I do my best to prepare, and we make the team, we go to AWC, we run the clean runs, and then suddenly there are faster dogs there, better dogs this year than last year. Then it's like, but I still did exactly what I was supposed to do, so I have to be happy with my effort in it.
Yeah. If there's nothing more you could have done, then you can't be hard on yourself, can you?
No. And then you're still, okay, say you're put in 10th place or 5th place or whatever. That's in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly.
That's like 1% of the world's best dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
To be on top 10 is 1% of the world's best dogs.
Yeah. So how can you be disappointed with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
So just delivering the best you can, then you have to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And it's detaching from the outcome and focusing on the process is essentially the main thing.
Yeah.
So last question then. What are your current agility-related goals for the future? So speaking about goals, what do you have at the moment in mind?
Well, it's creating like with both my dogs, or
yeah, just you as a handler competing with either dog. Yeah, anything.
Yeah. So with Cindy, it's like getting our relationship and connection so good that we're able to like compete together. We haven't competed together yet, and I have signed up for competitions, but I don't know if I will bring in the toy and just do details or sequences, or if we will try to run the whole course, because she's super powerful. I have never had a dog this powerful, so it's quite hard for me to like, I have to completely different running style for me, so becoming a better dog trainer and handler for me to like control and be able to like be a clear handler for her, and give her the skills to like get through grade 1 and grade 2 courses in general. That's like for her this year. And for Agi, it's definitely getting more consistency so we can perform well at the tryouts, make the team, and so in general delivering more clean runs and peaking Agi's shape for AWC. So first of all, we have to make the team, and then I want to peak her shape, because I really managed to peak her quite well this year, and maybe I'm able to peak her even more.
For this again this year now, isn't it? I was about to say next year, but it's this year now.
Yeah, this year now.
Yeah, amazing.
So I would want to make the team, and then I would want to like make the most out of our runs.
Yeah, it's difficult to set goals before tryouts, really, isn't it? Because I'm like, well, I haven't made the team yet, so I don't want to make AWC goals quite yet. Don't want to jump the gun.
I mean, I may jinx it now, but since 2023 we have been to every AWC since then, so it will surprise me if we don't go to AWC. I will be like, I'm a humble person, but she is such a great dog that it will be really disappointing if she's not a part of the small team representing Norway. It will be disappointing.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, she's been a world champion, so you'd think she should be there every year. For sure. She's proven herself.
Yeah. So as long as she's healthy and I'm able to like peak her up till then, it will be fine. And like we are very seldom like making mistakes on the course now. Like handling mistakes. Because one thing is like, oh, I'm not that happy with that contact, or if she knocked a bar, or if she got too wide, or misunderstanding or something, but we are not eliminating that much.
Okay, so the consistency's there for sure.
I just have to be even more clear and like make the best choices I can, because one thing is like going clean, but as far as we have come now together, for me a clean run isn't good enough anymore.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like you just keep raising the bar, don't we?
For me it's like the clean run have to feel really good, and I have to feel that all the choices I made were good. So I felt like, okay, this was the best we could do in this course. If I get sense. That feeling, I'm really happy.
Makes sense. Amazing. Well, that is all the questions. Thank you ever so much for coming on.
You're welcome. So we did speak for a long time.
We did, nearly 2 hours. Love it.
What an amazing conversation. Thank you, Kjersti, again for hopping on the mic with me today. That was super interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. Please do leave the podcast a 5-star rating and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That would mean the absolute world to me. Also, make sure you're following the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That way you don't miss any future episodes. Also, keep sending me your podcast episode topic requests. If you make a request, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it turned into an episode. So solo episode ideas and guests you would like me to have on in the future and what you would like me to speak about with those guests, you can send me a DM on all the social media platforms. Up to you. I'm on them all at Pause in Pursuit. Also, make sure you are follow me over on there so you can keep up to date with what me and Arrow are doing currently. And as the season gets started, which is super exciting, it's happening, guys. It's nearly February. That means things are happening. So make sure you keep up to date over on there. I also offer in-person agility training in Lincoln. So whether you want a one-to-one session with me or you'd like to join one of my existing group classes, again, just send me a DM and we can sort something out. I would love to work with you guys. I think that is everything that I usually ramble on at the end of each episode. So with that, I will let you get on with your day. I hope you have a great rest of your week, guys, and I will speak to you all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Bye, guys.